Hi, in this video I will explain you what is programming. If you are new to the programming, this video will be very essential for you. Computers aren't very smart. Sure, they can do a lot of math or help you search the internet. But if you asked a computer to vacuum the house for you, could it do it? If you asked a computer to draw a picture of a bird for you, would it? A computer would have no idea about what you are saying. Computers are bad at understanding things. If you don't give them exact instructions the way they understand, they become confused and make mistakes. Telling a computer what you want it to do is sometimes hard because you have to explain things very carefully. Don't be frustrated if you write some script that a computer doesn't understand. Remember that the computers are easily confused and all the instructions have to be exactly right and in a proper order. Computers are very picky. Little mistakes or problems in the script are called bugs. Even the best programmers make many bugs. VBA is an object-oriented language. That means that the language has objects that you can give commands to. It's just real like in a real life. Just imagine your daily course. You get up, you brush, you eat breakfast, go to school, go home, eat dinner, go to sleep. In the same way, the computer will follow the first command and then do the next command and then the next one until it reaches the end. This list of instructions is called a program. If you say someone to prepare a delicious recipe for you want to eat, it is not sure the person will know how to prepare it for you. Am I right? Then what you will do? Think. You will guide the person how to prepare it, right? You need to instruct him or her. But for that, you first need to know how to prepare that recipe. What are the steps involved? What are the ingredients? Where should I get it from? Which grocery shop? What quality? How much quantity should I buy? And so on. How to put them in a proper order and in what proportions so that it tastes good. If anything goes wrong, how to solve it. And last but not the least, how to give it a finishing touch, that is garnishing. These are few guidelines you need to know about anything if you need to instruct anyone about it from start to end. That means you have to be convinced about the recipe before instructing others about it. Am I correct? Only then you can give proper directions. Once you instruct the person right, you can tell him to prepare it for you n number of times you want to eat or drink the item. Once it is stored in the brain of the human, he will prepare it for you the next time you order. Now I will make you understand the concept. In the same way, you need to instruct the computer about it. A program is like a recipe. It contains a list of ingredients called variables and a list of directions called statements that tell the computer what to do with the variables. Programming is a series of instructions or an organized list of instructions that when executed causes the computer to behave in the predetermined manner. Without programs, computers are useless. And programmer is a chef who prepares the recipe for you. Assume this is a chef. What a chef does. According to the recipe, given to him, he will follow the instructions and he will prepare a soup for you. In the same way, the programmer, he will see the program, he will follow the instructions to create a program, and then here is the output. So in the same way is your programming. So I hope the concept of programming is clear. Hi, in our earlier videos we learnt how to record, edit and manage the macros in Excel, capturing the VBA code automatically, giving you the confidence and basic knowledge of the VBA code language itself. At some point you will want to get down to learning about the power of the VBA using Excel as the environmental tool to test the code. This will introduce you to the programming conventions and concepts and techniques that simply go beyond the scope of the Excel macro recorder tool. But before I tell you what's the agenda of this video session, I must ask you a very simple question. Have you ever come across a scenario where it took hours to think how you will apply the automated or a recorded macro that you applied on one single sheet, or you wish to apply it on the multiple or all the other sheets? Clearly, this is not what we are going to do in this video, but I will let you know what can be done when you face such things. There is a lot more about the VBA code that cannot be recorded, which include logical testing, iterations, interactive macros, creating functions and assigning variables. So in this training session, I will let you know what is VBA and how you will write and edit your macros. Writing a macro or editing a macro that you have recorded gives you the ability to add more power to your macros. For instance, with the macro recording example, you could edit that recorded macro by adding what is called a loop. Simple VBA code that can enable the macro to apply the formatting to all the tables in your workbook at once, rather than you having to run the macro separately for each table. Now, what is a VBA? VBA is nothing but it's a language that Excel can speak, understand and interpret. It stands for the Visual Basic for Applications. It is developed by Microsoft. VBA is the tool that people use to develop programs that controls Excel. VBA is used to customize and extend the capabilities of MS Excel. It makes your work more easy and quick. It helps you automate the repetitive tasks. It helps the user access large blocks of data. And last but not the least, it will protect the data from the user errors. Now, what are the advantages of the VBA? It is 1,000 times faster than the normal Excel. It is easy to use when data is quite large. You can automate anything you do in Excel. It is more consistent in work. It completes the work in a short span. It allows you to create buttons to put in your menu bar, icons in the quick access toolbar, assign a shortcut key to execute the task. Anybody can execute the task. This is the most basic advantage of a VBA. Now, what are the limitations that you can come across while using VBA? One should know how to write the programs in VBA. Sometimes things might go wrong in VBA, so you need to know how to debug the errors. Issues can come when working with different versions. So these are the things that we can do with the VBA. You can create your own button. You can create a macro icon in the quick access toolbar. You can assign a shortcut key to the macro. So this is one of the benefit of VBA, which can help a normal user who do not have the ability to work with the VBA code can use these options. How is the VBA code stored? VBA code is stored in the file type it is created in. You always need both the program and the file on the user's computer if they want to run the VBA code you typed. The file has to be open in the program in order to run its code. Now, what is the scope of the VBA? It consists of a VBA editor and VBA project. It contains modules, procedures, functions, and the objects. So we'll discuss about each one of the topics which are included in the VBA. Now let's discuss about the VBA editor and the project. VBA code is typed, edited, viewed, debugged and run within a module in the VBA projects in the VBA editor. Projects are viewed in the Project Explorer window in the VBA editor. So this is your VB editor where you have a Project Explorer which can help you navigate various areas of your VBA project. You have a code window where you can write your VBA code. You can have a properties window where you can adjust the properties of anything you selected in the Project Explorer. Say for example, you want to change the name of the module. And you also have the immediate window which will help you check the quick codes or show you the results. Now let's discuss about each of the window. We have a module. VBA code is stored and typed in the VBA editor in what is called as modules. As stated on the VBA editor page, a collection of modules is called a VBA project. The shortcut key to activate VBA editor is Alt F11. So you can simply press Alt 11 to activate your VBA editor. Now what are procedures? A procedure is defined as a named group of statements that are run as a unit. A statement is simply one complete line of a code, and the collection and the group of the statements are called as procedures. VBA procedures involves tasks such as controlling Excel's environment, communicating with the databases, calculating equations, analyzing the worksheet data, creating charts, and etc. etc. A VBA procedure unit or a block consists of a subroutine or a function. So we will discuss one by one about all these options. in the other videos, with a set of logical statements and ending statement. So you have your VBA procedure, which will start with your subroutine, or you can even create your own functions, which will include a set of logical statements within the subroutine and the ending statement. So your procedure will start with the subroutine and end with end substatements with the set of logical statements inside it. A VBA procedure is constructed from three types of statements: the executable, declaration, and the assignment statement. So what are the types of procedures? You have a subroutine, procedure, and a function. A sub-procedure is a procedure that performs some action. So here is the syntax of a sub-procedure, where you have sub and the name of the procedure, and it will end with the statement that is end sub, and you have the statements that will help you perform some of the actions which will be listed within sub and end sub. Function procedure also performs some action but also returns some value to point from which it is called as function. Syntax for the function procedure is as follows. So your function will start with the statement function and the name of the function, the action to be performed, and the formula, and it will end up with the end function. So here we have the examples for a subroutine procedure and your function procedure. So if you don't have any function in the Excel, you can create your own functions and make it applicable with the help of your VBA. Now, what are the objects in VBA? Anything in this world is known as an object. Right now, I'm typing on my computer. This is also an object. My keyboard is an object, my monitor is an object, my printer is an object, my CPU is an object, everything is an object. I am drinking a water from the bottle, it's also an object. I am writing from a pen, it's also an object. So everything is an object in this world. Now, what are the objects in the VBA? Some sample objects you can find in the Excel workbooks are cells. So we'll be working with the cells, ranges of the cells, worksheets, charts, pivot tables, the entire workbook, and the selection. Now, what are these objects made up of? The objects are made up of the properties and the methods. Now, what are the properties? Properties are nothing but the qualities of the objects, and methods are nothing but the actions that are going to be performed with the objects. Now, what is a property? Property is what an object has. It is an attribute of an object. For example, properties of a cell contains its color, height, width, etc. To change the characteristics of an object, you change the values of its properties. Now, how to highlight a cell automatically? So here is the code which will help you to highlight your cell automatically. So this is the property of your cell which you're going to change. Say this is how a cell looks to you and me. So this is the cell, and this is how it will look to the computer. Cell color is red, cell fill color is RGB, and the code number. Cell border is 1 point thick, cell border is in the black color, cell width is X points, cell value is some cell address is in sheet 1 in the range C5, cell is currently not selected, cell text is bolded. Now what are the methods? Methods are nothing but the actions performed on the objects. Methods are the operations you do on the object. Now how you can copy paste the data from one cell to the other. Now earlier we have seen that how we can change the property of the cell, the code to change the property of the cell, that is the color, or you can highlight the cell. Now we will see how to perform an action with that cell. Say I want to copy the data from one cell to the other. So this is the action that will be performed. We will select one cell, then copy the data from that cell and paste it on the active sheet and the cell where I need it. Gently ease you into learning VBA code, smoothing out the steep learning curve as much as possible. I hope you find this resource helpful. Thank you. Hi, greetings everyone. In this video, I will make you understand how to enable the developer tab. You should display the developer tab or run in developer mode when you want to write macros, run macros that you precisely recorded, or create applications to use this Microsoft Office program. So for that, to enable the developer tab, if you do not have the one in your application enabled, click on the Microsoft Office button here. Go to the Excel options. Now here, since your popular tab is already enabled in the left pane, go to the option here. If you see, this option is already check marked, that is show developer tab in the ribbon. If you don't want, uncheck it. If you want it, please check mark this option and say OK. So this is how you will enable the developer tab in your application. I hope the concept is clear to you. Thank you.
Hi, greetings everyone. In this moving picture, you will understand the different areas of VBA editor from where you will communicate to your actual program and automate your work. Say for example, you want to send an email to one of your friend. How will you do that? You need an interface for that, right? The interface can be your Gmail or any other email client, say Outlook, for which you need to open your email account, compose your email, write your subject matter and attach the file if you want to send any, and then send it across to anyone you want the mail to be sent to. The VBA editor is also such kind of an interface which will help you communicate with your application. Now in this video, we will understand and learn the different areas of VB editor. Now how to open the VB editor in your Excel? You can simply go to the developer tab here. On the extreme left, you'll find an option that is Visual Basic. You can simply click on the Visual Basic, or you can press Alt F11 as the shortcut key to open your Visual Basic. So here is your Visual Basic editor. You can even right click on the sheet and say View Code to open your Visual Basic editor. In the same way, you can right click on any object. It can be a chart object or it can be a sheet. You can just simply right click on the one and say View Code. So that will open the module or open the application for the selected object. So this is your VB editor in front of you. Your window is divided into 4 parts. Now here you can only see the 3 parts. To view the 4th part, you need to go to the View tab here and say Immediate Window. So these are the 4 parts of your Visual Basic editor. Your VB editor includes 4 different parts. The first is the Project Explorer window. The second is the properties window. Third, view code window. And the fourth is the immediate window. Now we will understand each window one by one. The first window is the Project Explorer window, which looks like the Windows Explorer. It displays the hierarchical list of all the elements of the project. This window is used to move between the elements of the project. You can use it to navigate the different areas of VBA project. So you can navigate to the different areas of the VBA project here. We will develop, test and modify the VBA procedure in the VB editor. Now how will you open up the Project Explorer window if you don't have the one? You can simply close this out. Now I cannot see my Project Explorer window. Now how will I open this up? All I need to do is I will go to the View tab here and say Project Explorer. Or you can use the shortcut key Ctrl R to open the Project Explorer window. Or you can click here on this icon. Do we see this icon here on the standard toolbar? Click on this and this will open your Project Explorer window. Now we will understand this Project Explorer window in a greater detail here. The upper part of the Project Explorer window consists of 3 buttons. The first button is the View Code button. This will help you to open the code module in the selected object. The second is the View Object window. By clicking on the View Object window, you can open different objects with the help of this. Say you can view the user forms, or you can use this to go back to your Excel spreadsheet. The way I am on my Excel sheet right now. For that, you need to go to the Visual Basic here. You can click on the View Object button and you can simply go to the spreadsheet back. The next button is the Toggle Folders button. This will help you display all the elements in the given folder in the alphabetical order of the list. So here if you see, this is the main folder, that is Microsoft Excel object, and these are all the elements under this folder. So that was with the Project Explorer window. Next we will move on with the Properties window. You can use this window to set the properties of the object that you selected in the Project Explorer. Now say for example I select sheet 1. If I want to modify any of the properties related to sheet 1, I have to go to the sheet 1 and then view the properties here, and you can modify the properties as you require. You can view the object alphabetically or by categorizing the object. The next window is the code window. This is the window where we will write our code, which will help us communicate with the application. You can write, view or edit any VBA code that you feel needs modification. This window is probably the most useful window. You can open as many windows as a program code to the modules. Now how to open this view code window? You can simply right click on the object and say view code here, or you can click on this button on the Project Explorer, the first button that I explained you earlier, or you can go to the View tab and say code, or simply say F7 as the shortcut key to view the view code window in the VB editor. Now we'll quickly understand this window. There are 2 drop downs here. The first drop down on the left will help you select the object, and the right drop down will help you select the events associated with that object. At the bottom left you'll find 2 buttons here. The first button is your procedure view button. This will help you view a selected procedure. The next is the full module view. This will help you to view the entire module and all the codes in the selected module. Now last but not the least, we will understand what is the immediate window. Now to open the immediate window, you can go to the View tab and say immediate window, or you can simply press Ctrl G as the shortcut key to open the immediate window here. The immediate window will help you to check the quick code results or will display the errors if they persist in the code. So that's all about the windows in VBA editor. Let us quickly summarize. We understood in the VBA editor what is the project window, that is the project explorer. We understood what is the properties explorer window. We understood what is the view code window. Last but not the least, we also understood what is the significance of the immediate window. In my other video, I will help you write a simple code. Now we are to the end of our session. Thank you for watching us. Hi, greetings everyone. In this video, I will show you what are the different steps involved in writing the macros. Now let's see how you can write a macro. But before that, it is very important that you define your task. So how will you define your task? I will show you in this video. Along with that, it is very important that you understand the layout of your VBA program. So let's see here. How will you define your task? These are the steps involved in defining your task. First of all, you need to go through all these steps before defining your task. Define the task that you wish to program in VBA. The overall task must always be broken down into smaller chunks. So what you require ultimately is very important, but you need to plan with the short-term goals. So whatever will be your long-term goal that you need to achieve, you have to break down into smaller or short-term goals, and then you can frame that into a long-term goal. The program consists of a set of instructions or the code which the computer will follow. The order in which you place these steps or the statements is very important, as VBA will execute it step by step. So understanding the layout, as I already mentioned, is very important, and understanding the syntax of the VBA before executing the code or before designing your code. It is very important that you understand how to write that code. So these are the steps involved in writing the code. First of all, you will start with your procedure name. So what is your procedure name will be written in the first line. The second will be your statements. So you will mention your statements that you need to execute step by step. That will be mentioned after you define a name for the procedure. Then will be the end of the procedure, which will be specified with the help of the end sub. The blue text represents the procedure starting and ending signatures. The green text represents the narrative or the comments for documentation purpose which are excluded from the procedure. So here if you see the green text where I have mentioned the comments, this is nothing but it is the comment, or you can call it as a narrative statements which we write in the code so that any user who opens the Excel file or go through your VBA code will understand what exactly you need to execute. So in short, I can say it's a small description which needs to be given while writing the code. It is not mandatory to give a comment, but just for a general understanding purpose, it is very important that you give the comment into your procedure, which will help understand any person who is not known to the VBA also can read and understand the code. Next is all the procedures must have a starting signature and ending signature, very important. Next is how will you design your code? Before designing a code, it is very important that you frame your code first of all. Say for example, if I want that whenever you write a code in any language, you need to frame in mind what you require. You can also note that down on one of the plain paper, which is known as the pseudocode. It is nothing but a normal English language, what you need to do step by step, and then you can convert that into the VBA code. So let's see what pseudocode needs to tell me? Pseudocode is nothing but a code which is written in a normal English language before designing your VBA code. So write the program out in a plain English to explain what is going to happen. So this is your normal pseudocode where I want the formatting to be done, and it should be bold, italics and underline, and then it should exit out of the code. So how will you mention this in a normal VBA language? I will say sub start. So sub start will be the name of the procedure, and sub start will be the starting signature of your VBA code. Select the cells from A2 to A10 and apply the formatting. Then select the cells from B1 to G1 and then again apply formatting and then end the procedure. So this is a normal English language in which you can specify what you actually require, and then you can convert this into a normal VBA language. So here let's see how your pseudocode works and how your VBA code works. Now here is my pseudocode where I want that it should select sheet 1, then select the cell A1 in the sheet 1, type January into it, then select the cell A2 and type number 100 into it. Now how will I specify this into a VBA code? Let's see here. I will name my procedure. I will say worksheets. In worksheets, sheet 1 dot select, then select the range A1 and in that active cell mention January or type January. Then select the range A2 and then type the value in that active cell as 100 and then end the procedure. So here is my Excel workbook. I will be showing you now how to write a VBA code. Go to the developer tab here. If you don't see the developer tab, you can go to the file, you can go to options here, then go to the customized ribbon and then select here the developer tab. If it is already checked marked, then close this out and go to the developer tab. Here I will go to the Visual Basic. The shortcut key is Alt F11. So this will directly open your VBA. This will automatically open your VB editor. Now you can go to the Insert tab to insert a module here. Then here I will write a small code for you. I'll start with sub message. Now the name of my code is MSG, that is message. Now here I will type a message. I want that whenever I'll execute this code, Excel should open a dialog box that says hello world. So let me execute this code for you. So when I'll execute this code, it will give me a dialog box that says hello world. So these are the simple steps that needs to be remembered, where you will mention the name of the code or your procedure, type your code and then end it with end sub. So here if you want, you can also mention a comment. This will pop up a message this will pop up a message that says hello world. I hope the following steps are clear to you. Thank you.